What's happening, YouTube? It is so great to see you again in the 1 plus Den of M. Welcome to part 2 of the Marvels series. Now, we're going to jump right into this one, as our second Marvel, as introduced in the MCU, is none other than Monica Rambeau, played by Teyonah Parris. Now, she's been playing an older version of Monica Rambeau than we know from the Captain Marvel film. The current version of this character was introduced to us in our beloved WandaVision. Now, she's gone through many names over the years, including Spectrum, Captain Marvel, Daystar, the Lady of Light, Photon, Pulsar, and Sun Goddess. She was first introduced as Captain Marvel in August of 1982 in that year's run of The Amazing Spider-Man, and as I mentioned in my previous video, Carol Danvers was also introduced as Captain Marvel in the 2012 run of The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, she was introduced as Photon in 1996, Pulsar in 2005, and finally Spectrum in 2013. She got her powers from being blasted by extra-dimensional energy when a device exploded, which is actually very similar to how Carol Danvers received her powers in the first Captain Marvel film. In the MCU, however, we first meet the character in WandaVision, as I mentioned, and we're first introduced to her powers upon her return into the Hex, although her x-rays suggested she may have already had some enhanced abilities prior to her re-entry to the Hex. So it'll be interesting if they address that, and we can see if she was even aware of her abilities before that, because we never really got a confirmation that she wasn't. Now, she was given the name Captain Marvel in the comics by the media, and that was by the Daily Bugle being run by J. Jonah Jameson in The Amazing Spider-Man. She's also been involved in Civil War II, being considered an alpha-level threat by both Sam Wilson and Tony Stark. So although Monica's the second person to use the name Captain Marvel, she's actually the first female to have used the name, and in 1983 she became the first Black woman to officially join the Avengers team. So it is kind of interesting that Disney chose Carol Danvers to be the first Captain Marvel in the MCU, given that Monica was given the name almost 30 years before her. Now, Monica's powers are also pretty intense. She can alter both her appearance using light and also her size. She too has the power of flight, being able to survive the vacuum of space, and she's capable of moving and reacting at speeds ranging from the speed of sound to the speed of light. We did see this quick reaction in WandaVision when she watched a speeding bullet pass her by and almost hit Billy in the final episode. Given that her powers are light-based, she's able to transform her body into pure energy or light, which grants her not only intangibility but also invisibility. She's able to absorb and duplicate energy and project energy blasts. She has a hypercosmic awareness, which was hinted at when we saw space through her eyes after her re-entry into the Hex in WandaVision. And at one point, she's even considered immortal, given at the time she was a being composed of pure light. So there's a ton of theories going around for when we're going to see this character again, and my personal theory for this character is that we may actually see her pop up in the Multiverse of Madness, given not only her personal connection to Wanda, but also the rumors that Shuma Gorath is set to make an appearance in the film. Now, in the comics, it was actually Monica who killed Shuma Gorath by turning herself into pure energy and blasting herself through his eye. It would be pretty cool with the post-credit scene in WandaVision to see Monica go up to space to talk to Fury, and then in the distance they see Shuma Gorath, showing up and leading to this epic space battle. Now, that's entirely speculation. Neither of those characters have been confirmed to show up in the film, but I still think it would be pretty cool. So, some pretty interesting stuff was happening in 1982 when the character was introduced as Captain Marvel. So, Michael Jackson's Thriller album was actually breaking records and topping the charts. And again, in true higher, further, faster fashion, Sally Ride became the first American woman in space on the NASA STS-3 mission. Now, I'm super excited to see how Monica evolves as a character throughout Phase 4 and the Marvel Universe, and I'm hoping that we're going to see more of her moving forward. The next character on the list in this series is not actually a Captain Marvel, but she's definitely part of the Marvel family, and her name is Kamala Khan, or Miss Marvel. Now, stay tuned for the next episode, because I'll be posting the link in the description below. As always, thank you again for joining me in the 1 plus Den of M. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next episode.